jump to verse 54. I'm just touching on this to see how, to show how, they continue to resist us.
You said verse 54?
Verse 54, same chapter.
First Maccabees chapter 11, verse 54. After this returned Tryphon, with him the young child Antiochus, who reigned and was crowned. Then there gathered unto him all the men of war, whom Demetrius had put away, and they fought against Demetrius, turned his back, and fled.
Right, so at this time, see, so you succeeded in getting custody of the young Antiochus, okay, and put on crown him king of Syria, Seleucus empire. Yeah, right. Under pretext that he intends of Antiochus Epiphanes as a legitimate king. And let's jump to verse chapter 30.
Chapter 30?
Chapter 13, rather. First chapter 13, verse 1.
The book of First Maccabees, chapter 13, verse 1. Now when Simon heard that Tryphon had gathered together a great host to invade the land of Judea.
Right, see, Simon, we know Simon came up to Judah's Maccabees. Judah was the first of the sons up to Mattathias, who continued the fight, the father of the Asmo, who continued the fight to cleanse the temple. Judas was already killed. Now Simon now succeeded him and continued on, the resistance against the Greeks. All right?
And saw that the people was in great trembling.
Start over that.
Now when Simon heard that Tryphon had gathered together a great host to invade the land of Judea and destroy it, and saw that the people was in great trembling and fear, he went up to Jerusalem and gathered the people together.
Right, so Simon was, sorry, this guy Tryphon, he's coming again. They're not resisting, they're relentless. You know that scripture know that. It's the perfect against us from way back. And they captured our temple, we regained it, dedicated back to the Most High, but they're coming back again. But Judah, the Israelites were great fear because of this great army that tried to gather. So Simon had to go to the people to calm them down. So hey, let's go to the Most High, pray to the Most High. The Most High is going to deliver us just like he did before. Read.
And gave them extortion, saying, Ye yourselves know what great things I and my brethren and my father's house have done for the laws and the sanctuary. The battles also and troubles which we have seen, by reason whereof all my brethren are slain for Israel's sake, and I am left alone. Now therefore, be it far from me that I should spare my own life in any time of trouble, for I am no better than my brethren. Doubtless, I will avenge my nation and the sanctuary and our wives and our children for all the heathen that are gathered to destroy us for a very malice. Now as soon as the people heard these words, their spirit revived, and they answered with a loud voice, saying, Thou shalt be our leader instead of Judas, and Jonathan thy brother. Fight thou our battles, and whatsoever thou commandest us, that will we do. So then we gathered together all the men of war, and made haste to finish the walls of Jerusalem. And he fortified it round about.
Right, so Simon was successful in allaying all fears. You revived the people's courage. Say, be strong. Remember how my father's house son of Mattathias, Judas, and Jonathan, all stood up for this nation and fought against the Greeks. So I'm no different from them. They all died in battle. And my life is not as any more valuable than theirs, so I'm going to do the same thing. I'm willing to put my life in the block to defend my nation. So the people gathered up to him, and they got an army, and they resisted the army of Tryphon and defeated them. So at this time, right now we are basically so we're going down to like 140 BC.
The army of Tryphon, what army is that?
That's the same. He's from the same Seleucus area.
Oh.
Syria. This is Syria.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Remember after Alexander died, his old empire got divided amongst his 4 top generals. Okay. Different parts of his empire. This particular part we're focusing on is we call it Seleucus dynasty, which is basically in the area of Syria, from where Antiochus the fourth, otherwise called Antiochus Epiphanes, became notorious as the one who relentlessly, started like 196 BC, attacked Israel and tried to, and impose on the Hellenism and all that, from Pharaoh temple, forced people to abandon our laws, statutes, and commandments until the Maccabees, actually known as the Hasmoneans, son of Mattathias, revolted against them. But so Mattathias, the father, and some of his sons already died, resisting against Antiochus Epiphanes. Antiochus Epiphanes already died in battle also, but now he's one of his military man, his Tryphon, just put his young son, Antiochus Epiphanes' young son, up as as a king. But he wasn't the one pulling the strings. Because a young son is a young child, you know what I mean? He doesn't have the intelligence or the maturity to lead a country or an army, anything like that. So those who Tryphon, in effect, was running things. Okay, so right now we're at 140 BC. That's when basically Simon. Let's see, that's when Simon secured Israel independence. Basically, we defeated and the resistance that came. Okay, so this independence really lasted for 140 BC. We had some obstacles along the way, but for the most part, Israel was in rulership of their own land. We are rulership because we were able to secure a league with the Romans. Understand? The Romans recognized us as a sovereignty, as an independent nation. We signed a confederacy with Rome. And they recognized our independence, and Rome was a strong power. So because of Rome's acknowledgement of us as a sovereign nation, basically other nations round about, didn't try to start much against us. Understand? So this basically lasts from 140 BC down to like 63 BC. That's when the Romans now paid the same ones we are, what I'm saying? The same ones who acknowledged us as a sovereign nation came against us. Yeah.
So from 140 BC to 63 BC, Israel was.
We were good. We were a sovereign nation. Okay. But I'm gonna fill in some of the blanks. I don't do that time. Because Simon, he died in about 135 BC. Okay, so from 130 so basically from one after that, then John Hyrcanus. John Hyrcanus, he started ruling so that basically immediately after that, so 134 BC, and he ruled up to 104 BC. See, he expanded
Who was that?
John Hyrcanus, Hyrcanus. He expanded Israel's borders to the south and to the north. You know that to the south of Israel is what? What territory is to the south of Israel? To the south of Israel.
Egypt? Not.
Idumea.
Oh, Idumea.
Idumea. Yeah, Idumea. So we basically, conquered Idumea.
He expanded south and
Yeah, we expanded territory, yeah. See, and he even converted Idumeans, converted to our custom. You know what I'm saying? Idumea was converted to our custom. He even expanded to the north also, because you know that after the death of Solomon in 933 BC, the kingdom got divided into two. Right? So the northern kingdom was to the north. The territory became known as basically Samaria. Okay? So, and I remember the northern kingdom didn't go back to Samaria. Understand? Because Samaria was occupied by people of other nations that the Assyrians had brought in 722 BC. But now, but John Hyrcanus now, he expanded Judah's territory to the north also. So he basically took control of Samaria, which was originally part of Israel anyway, because Samaria was independent, the northern kingdom. Understand? But the northern kingdom came over, the 10 tribes or the 9 tribes came over here for the captivity. Remember? If you read the Apocrypha, 2nd Ezra 13, how they took counsel to come over here instead, to come to a region that man never dwelt until they concerned the Most High. They didn't want to. You can read about it another time in 2nd Ezra chapter 13, the northern kingdom. Okay, so now John Hyrcanus, during his reign from 134 BC to 104 BC, he expanded to the south, taking over Idumea, where the Edomites resided, and taking over Samaria, where a mixed multitude resided. Okay, so basically expanded the borders of Israel to the north and to the south. Okay. Now, after his death in 104 BC, they then came upon Aristobulus. That's his name. Aristobulus. He ruled only for a year. Okay. And after him, they came up on after him. Yeah, he had this Aristobulus. He extended the border further north to Galilee. You read the New Testament, you hear a lot about Galilee, right? Yeah, Galilee. Right. Now, Galilee wasn't originally part of the Israel, but even we were dominated by other nations. When we came back to the independence, hey, we kind of buzzed our strength and flex our muscles a bit. So we expanded to the south and to the north and beyond. So this Aristobulus, he expanded further from John Hyrcanus and next Galilee to our territory.
So you only from 104 to 103?
Yeah, 101, yeah. Then after that, the ruler Israel was ruled by Alexander Jannaeus, Jannaeus, and he ruled for a while. He ruled from 103 to 76 BC. So we can see, just to summarize it a bit, Simon was able to got acknowledged by the Romans that we are an independent nation, and we enjoyed the independence for a little while up to 63 BC, and we had a few rulers in between. Who extended their borders to the north and to the south. But during this time also, ironically, even though we resisted the Greeks, polluting our temple and all that, at the same time though, just to incorporate the Israelites who got Hellenized anyway, our leaders kind of accept the Hellenism. As long as they pollute the temple, and they knew who they were and all that. But they acknowledge the fact that hey, some of these people they kind of the Israelites, they call the nation, but they got some ways that some habits that they picked up from from the Hellenists. You know what I mean? So they kind of compromise in that sense. Just to basically maintain the peace. The people basically at that point on got so accustomed to Greek ways. They took on a lot of their habits. So at least they knew they were Israelites. The temple wasn't profane, and they live as a nation. Now, this Alexander Jannaeus ruled from 103 to 76 BC. He was a brother of John Hyrcanus. And he increased the border even more. Now after his death, John Hyrcanus II, his son John Hyrcanus II, he named his son after his brother. So Alexander Jannaeus named his son after his brother John Hyrcanus. He called him John Hyrcanus II. Now, he served as a priest. He was a priest, but his mother, he let his mother basically run. You can read about a lot of this stuff in the Josephus. I don't know if how much you are familiar with the Josephus. So he was like a historian that I wrote different books about different events in Israel from way back. You can a lot of this stuff is documented, particularly in the Josephus. So now this John Hyrcanus, he ruled from 76 BC to 63 BC. So he was basically the last ruler of Israel before the Romans took over. His name John Hyrcanus II. He's what happened now. John Hyrcanus. Hyrcanus. The second. He was the son of Alexander Jannaeus. He was a priest, but his mother was basically the queen or the political leader. I understand the leader other than the priesthood. Okay, here's what happened. Now he was attacked by his brother in 64 BC. Understand? So, there was internal conflicts going on. A power struggle. Sibling rivalry or whatever. Taken to a higher level. That was in 64 BC. And he had to go outside to get help. You understand? Because his brother put a siege around Israel. Understand? So he had to run to Rome. He had to run to the Romans to get help from the Romans to fight against his brother. That was in 64 BC. Understand? So at this time, Romans expanded their territory also east. And Rome was expanding the church and they became interested in Israel. So this John Hyrcanus II, he made an agreement with Rome to say, if you would strengthen me to resist this attack from my brother, I'd be loyal to you. But Rome was saying, hey, I'll do that, but what's in it for me? I mean, there's no such thing as a free lunch. You know what I mean? Everybody wants something. So Rome said, what's in it for me? I strengthen you, I protect you, but there's got to be something for me. So Rome said, I put it back. Understand? But I won't put it back. I won't put it back as governor. I'll just put it back as a priest. Understand? So Rome now basically took over the governorship. So at that point in time, Rome basically colonized Israel. That was 63 BC. That's how it happened. That's how it happened because of the internal conflict that was going on in Israel. Say at 64 BC, and John Hyrcanus II runs to the Romans for help. The Romans say, okay, we'll do it, but these are the terms. We give it back, we put it back as a priest, but we're going to be the ruler. And of course, you're going to be tributary. You got to pay tribute to Rome. You saw there's that. Okay, so at this time that was basically Pompey. It was Pompey. His name was Gnaeus Pompey. Pompey is good enough. Gnaeus Pompey. Okay, because Rome was trying to at this time was becoming an imperialistic nation. You know what I mean? Trying to and they were already taking over the nations. And having this nation pay tribute to them and all that, and having the ruling. So, go down to like Rome put on rulership over Israel at this time was an Edomite. An Edomite from Idumea, right there in Idumea. The Romans were Edomites too. But it was a different nation, Edom. Understand? So maybe that's why they felt comfortable putting on this Edomite. His name was Antipater. Antipater. He became the governor of Judah in 47 BC. Understand? And his son, you know who his son was? Herod.
Oh, Herod?
Herod.
Oh, Herod. Yeah, Herod.
Yeah.
Okay, Herod. Yeah.
Herod the Great. So he was ruling, and he was the overall governor of Judah at this time, 47 BC. And his son Herod was ruling under him. Herod was in control of Galilee. So this Antipater died 4 years later. He was assassinated 4 years later, 43 BC. Guess what happened? Of course, his son, Herod, succeeded him as governor of Israel. So Herod became governor of Israel in 43 BC.
43 BC?
43 BC. See, now in 40 BC, 43 BC, I'm sorry, 40 BC, Herod, see, Israel, we got a backbone, you know what I'm saying? I mean, we always put some kind of resistance, man. You know what I mean? We didn't just roll over and let on there. Just like when the slavery was taking place, there were many revolts. Some successful, some not successful. I mean, we know what Levi, the overthrow, or the resistance against the French. We had many revolts in Jamaica. We know about that turn and all that, we are so many times, we are serve against our oppressors. So likewise, in 40 BC, this is basically 3 years after Herod became the governor, the Hasmoneans rose up again. Descendants of the same Hasmonean dynasty. Now, his name was Antigonus, who was a leader. It was Antigonus, Antigonus.
See that spell like again?
Antigonus was a Hasmonean prince. So there was another military power outside of that wasn't controlled by Rome, Parthia. Understand the Parthian now? They were a strong army, basically to the northeast of Israel and to the east of the Roman Empire.
It's like what nation is that? Parthia.
The Parthian, I gotta see what the ethnicity is. Probably Edomites also. I would think they were Edomites also. I gotta confirm that. So they were the ones. That Israel appealed to. Israel went to them for help to fight against Rome, because they didn't like the idea of the Roman, especially with the Edomites ruling over them, because Israel had this history with Edom. Understand? So they went to the Parthians to fight against Rome, to fight against the Romans. The Parthians backed them, but they didn't succeed. So now at this point, because when the Parthians backed Israel, Herod fled to Rome to ask Rome to defend them against Israel and the Parthians. And Herod said, "Yeah, if you defend me, I pledge my even loyalty to that now."
So Antigonus was over, what was the word you just said? Parthenis?
Parthenis, yeah.
Antigonus, he was an Israelite.
Oh, okay.
Antigonus he was a descendant of the Hasmonean dynasty. From the same lineage of the Maccabees.
Okay.
I understand. He came from that lineage, same lineage. So he was in his blood.
All right.
Plus, he knew the history of how his forefathers revolted and resisted the Greeks and Antiochus Epiphanes and all that. He knew the history of that. So he was in his blood. So he basically followed in step with his forefathers to resist the enemy. He didn't just roll over and let them do what they wanted to do. But that's what they could. Okay, so he got his Parthians backing. So Herod saw that right. So Herod run to Rome now for help to fight against that, to resist the Parthians. And of course, Rome was a really superpower then, and they defeated the Parthians. So at this time now, that was a year later, 39 BC, when the Romans defeated the Parthians. Herod got promoted now. He wasn't just the governor of Judea. He was proclaimed one king of the Jews. Yeah, that's a title. He was a king of the Jews. He was king of Judea now. Understand? Yeah. He was king of Judea now. So let's get Matthew chapter 2. Matthew chapter 2. We're gonna get Micah 2. As a matter of fact, get Matthew. I get Micah first. Micah 5 and 2. Then we get Matthew chapter 2. Micah 5 and 2.
The book of Micah, chapter 5, verse 2. The book of Micah, chapter 5, verse 2. But thou, Bethlehem, Ephrathah, Though thou be little among the thousands of Judah, yet out of thee shall he come forth unto me that is to be ruler in Israel, whose goings forth have been from old, from everlasting.
Right, now get right. So this is a prophecy right there that Micah the prophet was foretelling Abu. Get Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 15. It said it was going on. Read Micah again and then get Deuteronomy 18, 15.
Well, Micah again?
Yeah, read Micah again.
Same verse.
Same verse.
The book of Micah, chapter 5, verse 2. But thou, Bethlehem,
Bethlehem,
Ephrathah,
mm-hmm.
though thou be little among the thousands of Judah, yet out of thee shall he come forth out unto me that is to be ruler in Israel.
Right. Bethlehem was a small town in Judah. Yet out of that small town is gonna come one who's the ruler of Israel. Read.
Yet out of thee shall he come forth unto me that is to be ruler in Israel,
Mm-hmm.
whose goings forth have been from of old.
Who's going forth being of old. Understand? Of course, you know, Yahusha was in the beginning with the Mashiach. Yahusha was with the Mosai. Can we read about it in John? Or even in Genesis, let us. When the scripture said let us, that's talking about plural. So I mean, you know, that like what Mashiach, Yahusha, and the angels. And also you read about John. In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was in the Mosai. So you read Genesis, they can also read chapter John, verse 1. We get Deuteronomy 18 also. You got that now? Yeah. Now we get Deuteronomy 18, 15. When it is prophesied that Yahushua was going to emerge and Israel should take heed to him.
Book of Deuteronomy, chapter 18, verse 15. God one, thy power will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee.
See that? The Mosai said to Moses, to the Israelites, way back then, when we were coming to Egypt, that the Mosai was going to raise up a prophet from amongst us. Understand? And which is what we read in Micah 5 and 2, because all the scriptures correlate. And I said, raise up a prophet from amongst his people. Read.
The Lord thy power will raise up unto thee a prophet from the midst of thee.
From the midst of thee, from amongst own people. Read.
Of thy brethren.
Of thy brethren, your own kings.
Like unto me. Unto him ye shall hearken.
Right, unto him. So coming to Egypt with Moses, we were instilled the laws, statutes, and commandments. But going forward, those laws, statutes, and commandments have been reiterated and also been broken down in a way by the Mashiach Yahushua. Read.
According to all that thou desirest of the Lord thy power in Horeb in the day of the assembly.
All right, read chapter 18.
Deuteronomy chapter 18, verse 18. I will raise them up a prophet from among their brethren, like unto thee, and I will put my words in his mouth, and he shall speak unto them all that I shall command him.
Right, so that's the Mashiach Yahushua that's talking about. So what we read in Micah 5 and 2 was basically a reiteration of what we just read in Deuteronomy, and also a reiteration of what read in Genesis, and also John chapter 1 is basically the same thing. Okay, so right there. Now go to Matthew chapter 2, verse 1. You read of Herod 39 BC was now proclaimed king of the Jews by the Romans.
What year?
39 BC.
39 BC.
Matthew 2, verse 1.
2 verse 1. And he was king of the Jews at that time?
Yeah. The Romans gave him that title, King of the Jews. Understand? The Romans put him because Rome now colonized Israel, basically. Understand? Israel was paying tribute to Rome. So the person was governing Rome. What was governing Israel for the Romans was Herod the Great, so-called Herod the Great.
Yeah, I would say Herod the Great, yeah.
Right, and that's the title that they gave him now. He's not just governor anymore. He's now King of the Jews.
Herod the Great, yeah.
Herod.
King of the Judea, yeah.
Right. Read Matthew 2, verse 1.
The book of Matthew, chapter 2, verse 1. Now when Yahushua was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold,
See that? Herod the king. That's a Herod the king. Known as Herod the king. The Romans gave him that title of, when the Romans defeated the Parthians and the Israel revolt. Put him in rulership.
He also had a name, Herodian Kingdom, Herodian Kingdom. They say he also referred to as Herodian, the king, Herodian Kingdom, Herod.
Well, I don't know, just maybe because he was ruling on but
There was more than one Herod, because they say Herod first. They say Herod first.
he named his son Herod.
Oh, okay, Herod first. Okay.
read on.
The book of Matthew, chapter 2, verse 1. Now when Yahushua was born in Bethlehem of Judea in the days of Herod the king, behold, there came wise men from the east to Jerusalem, saying, where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen his star in the east, and are come to worship him.
See that? So,
You want the verse?
Huh?
You want the verse to that? Or blah?
we got some?
Yeah, for that right here.
All right.
Matthew, what it is, Matthew?
Huh?
Matthew, what we read, Matthew?
Oh, that's Matthew's 2 and 2.
Okay.
What precept is that?
It's Numbers chapter 24. When Balaam had a vision about Yahushua.
I'm sorry, yeah. I'm sorry. Should drop now. We'll go back to Matthew.
Huh?
We go back to Matthew.
No.
We'll still get dropped. All right.
Oh, no, precept was in Numbers chapter 24, verse 17.
Oh, what I'm saying? All right. You should hold what the scripture was still reading. Matthew.
Come on.
Okay. Go to this number. Yeah.
10 and what?
2, huh?
10.
It's Numbers
Oh, 10
20.
and 1. 2. What are you talking about? Numbers.
The book of Numbers, chapter 24, verse 17. I shall see him, but not now. I shall behold him, but not nigh. There shall come a star out of Jacob, and a scepter shall rise out of Israel, and shall smite the corners of Moab, and destroy the children of Seth.
Okay. All right. Good. So he was known in the people of the other nations. Was given some of some of the Israel's history and under system of prophecy were aware of the Mashiach Yahusha. Of what role he should play and how will he come to be the king of Israel. So let's go back to Matthew 2 and 1.
Read the one again.
No, verse 2.
The book of Matthew, chapter 2, verse 2, saying, where is he that is born King of the Jews? For we have seen a star in the east, and are come to worship him. When Herod the king had heard these things, he was troubled, and all Jerusalem with him.
See that? I said, what? I'm the king of the Jews. So what are they talking about? Guy who's supposed to be born because he's going to be king of the Jews. I'm the king of the Jews, so I'm the only king of the Jews. So with this person, so Herod was troubled. So you want to inquire more. So who's this? And Israel was troubled too because they know, hey, if Herod ain't happy, we ain't gonna be happy. Mm-hmm. So they were troubled too. Herod's trouble became their trouble. Just like Jake would say, is it sick, master? Herod, is it sick, Herod? Is we sick?
Is we sick?
You know what I mean? Jacob didn't understand the prophecy. I know that this thing was supposed to happen, that he was supposed to be king, to come to rescue Israel. He was going to be saving Israel. They were the ones who were in darkness after the prophecy. They were the ones, who was, ready to be down with Herod. Verse 4.
The book of Matthew, chapter 2, verse 4. And when he had gathered all the chief priests and the scribes of the people together, he demanded of them where a Messiah should be born.
Right, so he gathered the priests and the scribes and all the elders, men of knowledge, and a vision and prophecy and all that, to inquire of them where Messiah should be born. Read.
And they said unto him, in Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it is written by the prophet.
Thus it is written by the prophet. What prophet? Prophet, scripture? We just read it. Micah 5 and 2.
Yeah, Michael Pound.
Yeah.
I'm going to let them answer it.
Oh, I remember that. That's a nice one.
Read.
And they said unto him, in Bethlehem of Judea, for thus it is written of by the prophet, and thou, Bethlehem, in the land of Judea, art not the least among the princes of Judah, for out of thee shall come a governor that shall rule my people Israel.
So basically, they were paraphrasing or quoting the scripture. They were right here, they quoted Micah 5 and 2. So these men were in trouble. When they saw Herod trouble, they were in trouble by Herod because they knew the prophecy. The ones who didn't know the prophecy, they were the ones who were troubled by Herod. These men of knowledge knew that they were looking forward to this. They were looking forward to the Messiah because they knew the Messiah was going to be their deliverer. Understand? He was the one who's going to deliver them from all this, the bondage, and secure, the Yahweh was going to come to deliver them physically. Understand? Then, but that's one other time. Just like when you read Acts, the disciples say, "Are you going to deliver us from this captivity right now?" Yeah. So that's what they were looking forward to. They didn't know that much Yahweh was going to come. Hey, to be the sacrifice to give atonement, and then to return another time to physically deliver us from the bondages that we are in. So, verse 7.
The book of Matthew, chapter 2, verse 7. Then Herod, when he had privately called the wise men and inquired of them diligently what time the star appeared, and he sent them to Bethlehem and said, go and search diligently for the young child, and when ye have found him, bring me word again, that I may come and worship him also.
All right.
Sneaky.
All right. All right. Leave that when I say the bridge. I got a bridge I want to say. All right. The Roman army, these elders and the prophets and these wise men, they do better. Then you know to trust the enemy. So this Herod was trying to play slick. Hey, I want to worship him too. Let me know where he's gonna be born and all. Let me know the exact time so he can come up. And acknowledge him as a king and worship him. Read.
Verse 9. And when they had heard the king, they departed, and lo, the star which they saw in the east went before them, till it came and stood over where the young child was. When they saw the star, they rejoiced with exceeding great joy. And when they were come into the house, they saw the young child with Mary, his mother, and fell down and worshipped him. And when they had opened their treasures, they presented unto him gifts, gold and frankincense and myrrh. And being warned of the Most High in a dream that they should not return to Herod, they departed into their own country another way.
Right. So the Most High, warned them in a dream.
I said, I'll put you to death.
Don't trust that guy, Herod, man. I mean, it's up to nobles, you know, trying to keep the savior. So just take another route. Don't go to this guy. Just take another route and go back to your country. So that's what that was. So shy, being born, the prophets and the wise men and the elders and all acknowledged him, and then it went back to the country. Now, so go to but of course, jump to verse 16.
The book of Matthew, chapter 2, verse 16.
I'll go to verse 15.
15?
15.
15. The book of Matthew, chapter 2, verse 15. And was there until...
You know what? Hold on. Read on.
Read down?
Yeah, read on. Let's get it.
Verse 15?
12.
Read from
13.
Yeah, 13.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
we can get up there.
The book of Matthew, chapter 2, verse 13. And when they were departed, behold, the angel of the Lord appeared to Joseph in a dream, saying, Arise, and take the young child and his mother, and flee into Egypt, and be thou there until I bring thee word, for Herod will seek the young child to destroy him. When he arose, he took the young child and his mother by night, and departed into Egypt, and was there until the death of Herod, that might be fulfilled which was spoken of the Lord by the prophet, saying, out of Egypt, Then Herod, when he saw that he was mocked of the wise men, was exceeding wroth, and sent forth and slew all the children that were in Bethlehem, and in all the coasts thereof, from 2 years old and under, according to the time which he had diligently inquired of the wise men. Then was fulfilled that which was spoken by Jeremy the prophet, saying, In Ramah was there a voice heard, lamentation and weeping and great mourning, Rachel weeping for her children, and would not be comforted because they are not.
See that? So Herod now basically Herod wanted to make sure he was to make sure that he killed the Yahusha. So what did he do? Because he saw it was mocked by the wise men. So what did he do? He basically killed all the young boys. Killed all the who was about the age, who was in that age group, basically, for the 2 years and all that. I'll read it.
You want it?
I'll read it.
Fine. The book of Jeremiah, chapter 31, verse 15. Thus saith the Lord, a voice was heard in Ramah, lamentation and bitter weeping, and Rahel, weeping for her children, refused to be comforted for her children, because they are not. Thus saith the Lord, refrain thy voice from weeping, and thy eyes from tears, for thy work shall be rewarded, saith the Lord, and they shall come again from the land of the enemy.
Right, so that's what that's talking about. It was prophesied that this would take place. That Herod would kill all the young babies who was in that age range. With the intent of by doing that, he might get the Mashiach Yahusha, because he didn't know who was who. Understand? He didn't know who was who. So say, I'm not. Since I don't know which one it is, I'm going to kill all of them. And then maybe in that process, I kill Mashiach Yahusha. That was the intention. Let's because Herod he tried to win over the Israelites, because he actually married an Israelite woman. He actually married an Israelite woman. His wife was a young Levite woman.
Yeah, the biblical princess.
Yeah, it was a young Levite woman that he married. You know what I'm saying? Years later, of course, Edomites, he had executed supported for infidelity. This guy was a terrible guy. He even killed his own son, some of his own sons who said like trees or whatever. So this guy was a ruthless guy. So we just read how we kill the young babies from 2 and on, depending on the white time. So now let's Revelation chapter 12.
Verse 1.
Yes, verse 1. Let's go to the whole chapter, Revelation 12.
The book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 1. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven.
A great wonder, like a miracle sign. Read.
A woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars.
Who's that woman?
What?
Israel.
Oh, the woman of 12 stars, let's see how much.
Read it again.
The book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 1. And there appeared a great wonder in heaven, a woman clothed with the sun and the moon under her feet, and upon her head a crown of 12 stars.
Who's that woman? The woman is Israel. It's Israel.
Oh, the 12, yeah, 12 stars.
Sun, moon, and stars. Right. So the sun, I mean, we kind of wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. The 12 stars represent what?
Each tribe. Yeah.
12 tribe of Israel.
Yeah, 12, yeah.
So you say, okay. Read on.
And she being with child cried, traveling in birth,
Travailing in birth.
and in pain to be delivered.
Right, because Israel was what? He's occupied by the Romans. Understand? In bondage under the Romans. He's persecuted by the Romans. Understand? We were yearning to be delivered from this Roman oppression. We want to be delivered from the Roman persecution. It was slaughter of people, oppressing of people, or people paying tribute to them, with the loss of sovereignty. We were like a homeborn slave. Israel was a homeborn slave. You be in your own country. We lost our power from the Most High. We had with the Most High. Read on.
Verse 2. And she being with child cried, traveling in birth, and in pain to be delivered. And there appeared another wonder in heaven. And behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and 7 crowns upon his heads.
Right, there appeared in a great wonder in heaven, and behold, a great red dragon, having 7 heads and 10 horns, 7 crowns upon his head. He's just talking about Esau. And the different Edomite nation that came out of Esau. Understand? So, in particular, at the time, referring to Rome. Understand? Read.
And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven.
On his tail, the tail of this great red dragon, drew the third part of the stars of heaven. Read.
And did cast them to earth. Cast them to the earth. And the dragon.
What does that mean? On his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven. The third part. What do you mean the third?
1/3.
1/3. Meaning that there were the 3 parts. The 3 parts of the stars of heaven, the 3 parts of Israel. What are those 3 parts of Israel?
You said 3 parts.
The 3 parts. The third means it's 1 part, so they mean there are 2 other here.
Yeah. The 1/3 is the righteous, and the 2/3 are the ones that's going to be cut off. You know, I'm gonna always run to that, man.
The third part.
Oh, 3 parts. 3 parts.
The 3 parts is all I'm talking about. Judea, the inhabitants of Judea. That's 1 part. Second part are the inhabitants of basically scattered throughout the area. And the third part is talking about the northern tribes came out of this part of the verb.
Okay, split.
So the part that the third part, which is one of the three parts that the Romans who still drew down to the earth was the occupants of Judea.
In that area.
Yeah, in that area. They drew them out, took them from the rulership, took them off the throne, now put them in a position of servitude.
Con.
Now that's what that's talking about.
Ooh, that's
Read.
And his tail drew the third part of the stars of heaven, and did cast them to the earth.
Right.
And the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born.
Right. So the dragon stood before the woman, which was ready to be delivered, for to devour her child as soon as it was born. That's what we just read in Matthew. Understand? Was seeking this young king of the Jews, which was Yahushua, to slay him, to kill him. The dragon, which is old serpent, Satan the Satan, seeking to slay the Mashiach Yahushua. Understand? So this is not talking about the Mashiach Yahushua being also was to deliver Israel from the oppression and the bondage of sin. Understand? Not just physical bondage, which were in under the Romans, but also the bondage of transgression, which would be our destruction. Right? So this error, great, was seeking to destroy the Mashiach Yahushua. This is what the Revelation 12 is talking about right now. Read.
And she brought forth a man-child, who was to rule all nations.
When she brought forth a man-child. See? He's talking about Israel, he's talking about, he's also talking about Mary bringing forth a man-child.
Bring forth Yahushua.
Yeah, right. Okay? And it's of course he's talking about Israel because Yahushua came from his brethren in Israel. Okay, so literally he's talking about Mary, but in the context or like metaphorically speaking or analogically speaking, it's talking about Yahushua being from amongst his brethren, the Israelites. Right?
And she brought forth a man-child, who was to rule all nations with a rod of iron.
Yeah, he was to rule all nations because Yahushua was going to be the king of the earth. He's going to be the king of the earth, ruling all nations, whether iron meaning what? They weren't going to be subjected to the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. Understand? Ain't going to be no slacking going on. They weren't going to get in step. Read.
And her child was caught up unto the Most High, and to his throne.
Right, so that's talking about the Mashiach Yahushua. We read about that in Acts when he was taken up to the Mashiach Yahushua, back to the Most High. That's what this is talking about. Read.
And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she hath a place prepared of the Most High, that they should feed her there 1,260 days.
And the woman fled into the wilderness. What wilderness is that?
West Africa.
God. So right now we're reading about what took place in 70 AD. Y'all know about Babylon Timbuktu, right? Y'all know about y'all know that verse, right? The paragraph in Babylon Timbuktu.
You got your book?
Yeah.
I think it's page 83 or 86. Let me see if I can find for it.
I think it's 62. Page 63, I think.
84.
84? Okay.
Yeah, 84. Right?
84, you got it right. Okay. Might like to fall apart.
84.
Yeah, it's right there. See where you got it highlighted?
Oh. Read that.
From Babylon to Timbuktu, page 84. In the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pompey captured Jerusalem in 70 AD. General Vespucian.
Hold on, see, read it again. I read it right.
Sorry.
Read it again.
From Babylon to Timbuktu, page 84. In the year 65 BC, the Roman armies under General Pepe captured Jerusalem.
Okay, all right. So 65 BC, that's the date that Woodrow Wilson's name.
Rudolph Windsor.
Rudolph Windsor is given that Pompey captured Jerusalem. Okay, read on.
In 70 AD, General Vespucian and his son Titus put an end to the Jewish state.
Now in 70 AD, that was from 65 BC to 70 AD. That's what 135 years?
What you say, what, 65 BC to 70?
To 70 AD. Okay, 65 years before. 65 plus
35 years.
135 years. So basically, the Romans occupied. There was only 35 years before the Romans destroyed our temple. Before we.
Sorry to interrupt you. What year we'll put down to say my shop appeared on the scene? AD or BC? So I can write it down. I know it's a window.
BC, straight dog. BC is supposed to shoot me before Christ.
Yeah.
But some people are after record as I said 2 BC. So basically it's around that time.
Yeah.
So,
Let's put a window.
So the Romans took over from 65 BC, and they destroyed our temple in 70 AD, 135 years later. And during that time, of course, we were oppressing the hell out of Israel.
All right.
Now let's go back to Romans, Revelation rather. Verse 6 again.
The book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 6. And the woman fled into the wilderness, where she had a place prepared of the Most High.
The woman fled into the wilderness, the west coast of Africa, where she had a place prepared of the Most High. So we were a place prepared of the Most High, meaning that the Most High are in the purpose. Because the Most High, read Deuteronomy 28, Most High are this mapped out. He told Moses exactly what would happen. Or what happened before the people in this last days, or we would come from on west coast of Africa called the slave ships. So that was the place where the Most High had prepared for us. Read.
Where she had a place prepared of the Most High, that they should feed her there 1,203 square days. There was war in heaven.
Read it again. And there was war.
And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven.
Right. So verse 7. And there was war in heaven. What was a war? What is the war that scripture is talking about? And there was war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon. And the dragon fought and his angels. Who was dragon? Who was dragon? Is Satan. Okay, we know the dragon is Satan. And the dragon fought and his angels and prevailed not. So Satan prevailed not. Neither was there place found anymore in heaven. So let's old Revelation again. Get Daniel chapter 12, verse 1.
You said Daniel 12.
Daniel 12, verse 1. Yeah.
The book of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up.
See it? Daniel got the vision. The Mosai showed Daniel the vision that basically the same vision we're reading about right in Revelation. About this war that we're reading about that took place in heaven. And at that time, Michael should stand up. Read it again.
The book of Daniel, chapter 12, verse 1. And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people.
See, the Michael standing up representing Israel. Up in heavens with the Mosai. Understand? This war that was taking place was Satan was always bringing the false report to the Mosai to condemn Israel. You know what I mean? Always bringing up our transgression, our evil deeds. Just like with the case with Job. Where Satan was saying, does Job serve for naught? You know, always accusing Job for the Mosai. Same things happening again. That's Satan's job. That's what it means. Satan, adversary. Adversary of the devil. Read it again now.
And at that time shall Michael stand up, the great prince which standeth for the children of thy people.
Right. Michael representing Israel. Right?
And there shall be a time of trouble, such as never was since there was a nation, even to that same time.
Right. So, because, I mean, we're going to go through a lot of things. We have been going through a lot of things. I mean, oppression that you would never see before. Read. Slavery and all that. To this day. Read.
And at that time thy people shall be delivered, every one that shall be found written in the book.
Right. And at that time, everyone, our people shall be delivered, everyone that is found written in the book. Read.
And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake.
Right. Well, for fathers like we read about the Maccabees, those men who put their lives on the line and died to uphold the Mosai's laws, statutes, and commandments. Understand? That's going to be counted to them for righteousness. So for fathers who live righteously, even though they passed away, they've been delivered also. Read it again now.
And many of them that sleep in the dust of the earth shall awake.
Yeah, many of our forefathers, we're talking about at the last, when Mashiach shall returns. Even for fathers and for mothers who died in this truth, man, will sleep over the dust of the ground. Read.
Some to everlasting life, and some to shame and everlasting contempt.
And of course, those who do not keep the Mosai's laws, statutes, and commandments, and are not written in the book of the Mosai, they're going to be to everlasting shame. The ones who are righteous and receive the mercy, blessing of the Mosai, they're going to be awoken to everlasting righteousness. Read.
And they that be wise shall shine as the brightness of the firmament.
Right, so this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding that our people get, man, that money can't buy that. You know what I'm saying? Your knowledge, the wisdom is going to stand out. Just like back in the days, our wisdom that we had, the nation run about us was so impressed because they never saw this before. They never saw the kind of the wisdom that Israel had. But we didn't appreciate it. We took it for granted. The nations were impressed with our wisdom, but he in turn wanted to be like the other nations. Now know what he got. Read.
And they that turn many to righteousness as the stars forever and ever. You know?
What verse?
I just finished verse 3.
3-4. Yeah.
But thou, O Daniel, shut up the words and seal the book, even to the time of the end. Many shall run to and fro, and knowledge shall be increased.
Right? So most I told Daniel to shut up the book. That's a future prophecy. That's not something you should go share with anybody about that. You know what I mean? That's you're gonna sleep with the fathers, you're gonna rest a while, but these things are gonna take place in the end. So like just like Ezra, the prophet Ezra, The Most High, just like Moses, the Most High showed some men who were zealous to Israel, certain things. That I mean, that's how the scripture said, and the knowledge we're getting right now, men of even angels, we should have this knowledge. We should do certain things that are the Most High waking us up to right now. You know what I mean? And when Daniel got that knowledge right, the Most High didn't share all of that with everybody. You know, share that with Daniel. He said, shut it up. That's not even something that Daniel was going to see at that time. That's a future prophecy. That is not yet. So, and that's what we're reading about, right? Go back to Revelation. I just went there to show what the confrontation was with Micah. As a matter of fact, get me also Zechariah 3.
Zechariah.
Chapter 3, verse 1.
The book of Zechariah, chapter 3, verse 1. And he showed me Joshua the high priest, standing before the angel of the Lord, and Satan standing at his right hand to resist him. And the Lord said unto Satan, the Lord rebuke thee, O Satan.
See, Satan is always there trying to put in a cause of a bad report, speaking badly of Israel, to the Most High, punish Israel, condemn Israel, and prolong our punishment. But Michael stood up for us, you know.
O Satan, even the Lord that hath chosen Jerusalem rebuke thee. Is not this a brand plucked out of the fire?
Israel, we are a brand plucked out of the fire, man. We are a brand plucked out of the hardship, tribulation, despair, and all that. That's us right there. So we're not gonna we've been purified. We're gonna be purified. Understand? That's what this is talking about, right?
Now Joshua was clothed with filthy garments and stood before the angel.
All right, I'll go back to Revelation. So of course we are Joshua stood in filthy garments. At one time, even now our people are in filthy garments, meaning what? You are like a reproach to the nations round about us. Bywords and proverbs to them. And because of the low state that we have been brought to. But because of, as the Most High said, we are a brand plucked out of the fire, we're going to rise to a higher state that it can't envision. Hold that. Get the Apocrypha, Wisdom of Solomon 5. Start from verse 1. Because that we've been brought to a low state. So we're going to be what? Risen out of it.
The Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 5, verse 1, page 60, read Apocrypha. Then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before the face of such as have afflicted him.
Right. That's what's going to happen in the last days when Israel is going to most high start raising Israel up. Then shall the righteous man stand with great boldness in the face of those who afflicted us. Our enemies who afflicted us, persecuted us, oppressed us, who thought nothing good would come of Israel, they're gonna be a rude awakening when the Most High start pouring the righteous spirit upon his people and raising us up, man. Raising us up like a brand plucked out of the fire that's been purified. Read.
And made no account of his labors.
Right. And they made no account of our labors. They didn't pay. That's something about slavery. Cheap labor, man. 400 years of cheap labor, of free labor. Then after that, the low median jobs, the minimum wage jobs. Don't want to give us our due, our just due. Thinking that we're going to be confined to the ghettos and slums forever, perpetually. But they're going to see us raising up, and they're going to be astonished. Read.
When they see it, they shall be troubled with terrible fear.
Right. They're going to be troubled when they see Israel rising up as a nation, the Most High, and read Ezekiel 37, man. great army standing up for our enemies who looked on us as if we were nothing. They're going to be very troubled because they know their history, they know what they did to us, and they know that, hey, they know that we know. Understand? And that's why they fear us. Every time every time you see a young Jake that innocently shot down by these wicked cops, man, they always talk about, they need to be retrained. How? That's the most ridiculous thing they can ever say, man. They need to be retrained, so as not to rush to judgment and shoot these men innocently. They ain't got nothing to do with the training. There's a wickedness in their heart. There's a wickedness and perpetual hatred they have for our people. Why they do that? And the disregard they have for us, the contempt they have, the hatred they have for us. Why they do that? It ain't because they're not properly trained or because they're afraid of us. It's because they look down on us. According to us, nothing. That's why these things happen. Understand? So I don't know. That's the most ridiculous thing. It's like they're giving them a pass right away. They need to be retrained. It ain't got to do with lack of training. It's the hatred, the perpetual hatred that they have for our people. I read about it all over the scriptures. Even when we try to do the right thing, they always stand in our way. Read.
And shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation.
Yeah, they shall be amazed at the strangeness of our salvation. Them niggas, the Israelites, them niggas in the ghettos with their pants hanging out their behind.
It can't be, not no niggas. It can't be.
With the dreadlocks hanging on their back, with the flip flops, with the gold teeth. They're Israelites. So are the people in the Middle East. You mean that? The niggas working on driving around his 38s. They're the Hebrew Israelites that the Bible speaks of. They gotta be kidding me. They gotta be amazed at the strangeness of our salvation. Right?
So far beyond all that they look for.
So far beyond all that they look for. They never imagined, they never looked for this for our people. Can nothing good come out of Israel? Can nothing good come out of Lauderhill? For the projects? So they're going to be amazed, man, when they see the Most High start raising his people up. Read.
And they repenting and groaning for anguish of spirit shall say within themselves, this was he whom we had sometimes in derision, and a proverb of reproach, we fools accounted his life madness.
See that? The spirit that be troubling them. The anguish. These are these niggas, sticks and wetbacks who we had in derision, who we looked down on. Those son of a bitches, as Trump would say. Get them son of a bitches out of here, as Trump would say. I mean, ain't nothing. You gotta be amazed to know that, yeah, we are the sons of the living power. We are the ones that Most High chose, especially people to himself.
Con.
Now let's go back to Revelation. Let's finish Revelation chapter 12.
Book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 7. And there was a war in heaven. Michael and his angels fought against the dragon, and the dragon fought and his angels, and prevailed not. Neither was their place found any more in heaven.
Right. So all this neither was a place found anymore in heaven. So so all these angels, these are the who once carried the spirit of Satan, were ruling. The rulership is coming to an end. The power is coming to an end. Understand? They said Israel is going to be all that get me Lamentation 4:22. This is going to be turned on the tithes. You can also read in the second Ezra 6 and 7. Jacob got a hold of Esau's heel, end of the world, end of Esau's world is bigger than Jacob's. I mean, you're gonna like a trading places situation.
67?
No.
Lamentation?
Lamentation 4:22.
42. The book of Lamentation, chapter 4, verse 22. The punishment of thine iniquity is accomplished.
Right. Well, the punishment of Israel's iniquity is accomplishment. Read.
O daughter of Zion.
Oh, daughter of Zion, speaking, it's talking about Israel, the nation of Israel. Oh, punishment for transgressing the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments have been accomplished. Read.
He will no more carry thee away into captivity.
You see our last captivity. Read.
He will visit thy iniquity, O daughter of Edom.
The Most High is going to visit the iniquity of Edom, Esau, this wicked society, because everything Esau does is contrary to the laws, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. So they ain't going to get away with it. You know, the separation of church and state, with government enact all kind of laws which go against the scriptures, they're going to pay a price for that. Right?
He will visit thy iniquity, O daughter of Edom. He will discover thy sins.
Most High is going to discover the sins of Edom, Esau. So all the wickedness that he's done, which he thinks he's getting away with, he's going to be held accountable for them at the time. Now go back to Revelation. Revelation 12.
Book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 9. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent called the devil and Satan, which deceiveth the whole world. He was cast out into the earth, and his angels were cast out with him.
This doesn't mean they were cast out literally. Like a lot of people, some guys teach that on angels, fallen angels, is theory. It's talking about the spirit of Satan, the spirit of wickedness. That's been manifested in the actions by people who carry out, in his work, to oppress, to transgress, to establish a sinful kingdom on this earth, to do everything that's contrary to the Most High's laws, statutes, and commandments. And the great dragon was cast out, that old serpent, Satan, called the devil and Satan, which deceived the old world. Let's see the old world, especially Caesar Borgia, that fake image they put up, with the democracy, homosexuality. All those are some of the ways in which Esau, they see the old world. Right?
Verse 10. And I heard a loud voice saying in heaven, now is come salvation and strength, and in the kingdom of our power, and the power of his Messiah. For the accuser of our brethren is cast down.
Yeah, the accuser of our brethren who are sick. The war we read about earlier, in some verses further up. In verse 7. In the war in heaven, they were accusing Israel to the Most High. So I was condemned. I was punished. And the accuser of our brethren, which is Satan, is cast down. Read. Which accused them.
For the accuser of our brethren is cast down, which accused them before our power day and night.
Yeah. All is accusing us before the Most High day and night. Relentlessly. Never ceases to be accusing Israel to the Most High. Because the longer we punishment, the more Satan's people, Esau and other nations, sin power and rulership. Right?
Verse 11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb.
How do we overcome him? By the blood of the Lamb. What does that mean? What's that? Chapter verse 11 mean? And they overcame him. Who's the they, by the way?
Israel.
Okay. Who will overcome who?
Hashatan.
None. Israel overcame Satan by the blood of the Lamb. What's that? Now you Joshua.
The sacrifice of Yahusha.
By the blood of the Mashiach Yahusha. That's how we overcame Satan. Understand that? That's the Mashiach Yahusha delivered us and redeemed us from a bondage by his blood, making atonement for transgression. That's how we overcame Satan. That's how regardless of the transgression, Most High said in Isaiah 14, he will yet have mercy in Israel.
Yeah, okay.
Understand? He will yet. Mean what? We messed up badly. We transgressed. Even the Edomites, we just read in the Apocrypha, were amazed. Because they see the wickedness of what people do, and we do some wickedness. Even against our own people. I say, I think those people raising up, the Most High forgive us anyway. He will yet have mercy on our people and bring us back. Or we overcame Satan and all the accusations that they made against us to the Most High with the blood of the Mashiach Yahusha. Read.
Verse 11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb, and by the word of their testimony.
And by the word of their testimony. What does that mean? How do we overcome Satan? By the blood of the Lamb and by the word of the testimony. What is the part where it says, and by the word of the testimony? What do you say?
Yeah, love testimony. Yeah, that's what I was saying.
And by the word of their testimony. Their testimony. No. Their testimony. I mean, you gotta, the Mashiach Yahusha died for you, or for us to give us back to the Most High. But we gotta give a testimony. We gotta open our mouth and ask for repentance. Understand? We gotta go to the Most High. We gotta go to the Most. That's what the Scripture said. Go to the Most High with words. We gotta go to the Most. It's there. The repentance is there for us, but we gotta ask for it. We gotta acknowledge our transgression. Get Hosea 5:15.
The book of Hosea, chapter 5, verse 15. I will go and return to my place till I acknowledge their offense and seek my face. In their affliction, they will seek me early.
We gotta acknowledge our offense. We gotta go to the Most High and say, yeah, we messed up, we transgressed. All over the scriptures, we read prayers that our fathers made to the Most High, how they acknowledge our offense to the Most High. That's your testimony. Understand? That's your testimony. And you got to acknowledge your transgression and ask for forgiveness. That's how we overcome. Because you got some. I ran into some Christians a while back, man. They say that, you know what I mean? Mashiach Yahusha died for you, you're not gonna do nothing. That's what they say. Bro, you gotta confess, you gotta acknowledge your transgression. They say, you died for me, that's it, I don't do nothing. You gotta go to the Most High with words, man. And acknowledge your transgression and ask for forgiveness. Read.
Verse 6. I'm in chapter 6.
Go up, Revelation.
Back to Revelation. The book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 11. And they overcame him by the blood of the Lamb and by the word of their testimony. And they loved not their lives unto the death.
And they loved not their lives unto the death. Give me an example of that. How the Israelites love not their lives unto the death.
They just kept sinning until death came.
Eating pork.
Huh?
Eating pork.
No. Read the verse again. And they overcame him, Satan. They, the Israelites, overcame him, Satan, by the blood of the Lamb, the Mashiach Yahushua is done on the cross to make atonement for transgression, and by the word of their testimony, our acknowledgement of a transgression and asking for repentance. And they, the Israelites, loved not their lives unto the death.
They stayed in the truth until death.
Kind. And it's no matter what it takes. You're not going to depart from this truth. You just read about it with the Maccabees. And it's started in resisting the enemies, even because of their lives. Read.
Verse 12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth, of the sea. For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he hath but a short time.
Right, so that's what this sort of turmoil went on the earth. Satan knows, hey, soon and very soon, it's going to be righteousness on this earth. Everything's going to be ordered. Listen, Satan said, hey, let me do as much mischief as I possibly can. Let me do as much wickedness as I possibly can. So that's why wickedness is increasing at a rampant level going forward. Because Satan knows that, hey, his time is up. Understand? His roles are basically, the movie's coming to a close. The movie's about to end. The script is, you know the script. The movie's about to end. So, his role is going to be cut off now. Read.
Verse 13. And when the dragon saw that he was cast unto the earth, he persecuted the woman, which brought forth the man-child.
What does that mean? Or when the dragon, Satan saw that he was cast into the earth, what? He no longer got the power.
Yeah.
He's all this keeper who's following his doctrines and all that. They're losing their power. Where he persecuted the woman which brought forth the man-child. What is that talking about?
He's no longer in rulership over other nations.
No.
He
Satan,
persecuted Israel.
the woman which brought forth the man, which woman brought forth the man-child?
Israel.
They didn't persecute Mary like that. I mean, she went. I mean, as a part of a nation that went through tribulation, she of course she was living as comfortable as the Romans, but they didn't single her out. So the woman is talking about Israel. That's all right. Woman with 12 stars upon her head, the Israel, which brought forth the man child. The Israel was brought forth the Mashiach Yahushua. Huh? Verse 14.
Verse 14. And to the woman unto the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place.
What are they talking about?
The eagle?
No, and to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle. Who's the woman again?
Israel.
Okay. And to the woman, Israel was given 2 wings of an eagle. Now, was Israel literally given the wings of an eagle? Well, a country can't be given wings of an eagle. So that's talking as a metaphorically speaking. So he's talking about the Most High preparing an escape route for Israel to escape from the Romans. What was that escape route?
Yeah. Escape route from the Romans, yeah.
Well, because an eagle as well, that's eagle with weightiness up and fly away, right? From in a situation that they're in. So Israel was able to escape from the Roman persecution by went away. It's the west coast of Africa. That's what that's talking about. Verse 14.
And to the woman were given 2 wings of a great eagle, that she might fly into the wilderness, into her place, where she is nourished for a time, and times, and half a time, from the face of the serpent.
Right. So we were prepared. We were We were able to escape from the Roman persecution in 70 AD and go up to the west coast of Africa to escape the Roman persecution for time and time, or other time, for a little while. We stayed there for 1,500 years. And then from there, there been a coalition of nations. Read about that in Psalm 83. All took part in the demise of bringing us over here. The Arabs, read about Psalm 83. Read about that. Read.
Verse 15. And the serpent cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood.
On the serpent, Satan cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman. So Satan cast out water, as it were, after Israel. Was literally the water?
La'ah.
What is it?
Yeah, what is it?
The serpent Satan cast out of his mouth water as a flood after the woman, that he might cause her to be carried away of the flood. The lies and philosophies and doctrines, to the oppression he saw that imposed upon our people, to follow to take us away from the Most High. Understand it? The so-called freedom of religion, not enslaving, not making it illegal for our people to read, so we can read for ourselves. Having this slave master use a selected few of our people with a brainwash to teach us certain things, to have us what? Your loyalty and be and hold ourselves of subservient and inferior to them. Give us a religion and doctrines, philosophies and Christianity, Halloween, all those things. Our people carried away as of a flood. We carried away of the flood. Read. Verse 16.
Verse 16. And the earth helped the woman.
And the earth helped the woman Israel.
And the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood which the dragon cast out of his mouth.
Right. And the earth helped the woman. So the truth came out. I mean, the history, geography, archaeology, geography, all those things. I mean, also, the icons and the relics, whatever, artifacts, all those things, like the pyramids and all that. The pyramids the pyramids in Central America, which the same technology that was used to build the pyramids in Egypt. That's how we know that those people, the Israelites, well, books are documenting, the livelihood of our people. Records that they try to hide from us, which let us know how our people lived, how they worship, how they dressed, how they ate, how they prayed. All those things are examples of how the earth helped the woman, and the earth opened her mouth and swallowed up the flood. Mean what? Refuted and disputed the lies. Understand that they put out there, so we can know the truth of who we are in these last days. All these scriptures are a better person right there. So so we know that so we can know the truth. Understand? Because they're not. Esau's not gonna come to you say, "Yo, bro, you know you really do, right?" Esau's not gonna do that. Even the ones who know. I mean, an example like this guy, Arthur Custer, who wrote the book 13 Tribe. Yeah, he said, the only way that the so-called Jews can be Hebrew Israelites, he said there was a 13 tribe.
It's still missing.
They don't see that guy sit.
Oh, man.
You know what I'm saying? So that's exactly what the Most High even use out there. Because a lot of these so-called Jews, they have a lot of books. They wrote a lot of books documented their role in the slave trade. A lot of them wrote those books, which scholars have discovered to show, hey, you guys finance this thing. You guys were basically the mastermind behind the slave trade. You started on the documentation. You guys are, we changed your name from this, from a so-called Jews name to so-called Christian name, so we can know who you are and all that. But further analysis, you can see that you are the so-called Jews, and you play this role. You own the ship. You own that ship. The same ship that brought, a certain number of so-called African, which you know to be Hebrew Israelites from west coast of Africa, from Ghana, Senegal, Nigeria, Ivory Coast, to Jamaica, Virginia, Trinidad, wherever, Brazil, Peru, and you guys did that. So that's what this is talking about. Understand? This is how the earth held the woman of Israel, and the earth opened the mouth. You know what? Earth opened the mouth. You know what? It opened the mouth. Things that speaking, and things that revealed what was hidden, kept in the dark. Now being spoken, being revealed, so we can know and swallow up the lies. You know what? They refute and dispute the lies that was told out there, so we can know the truth. That those so-called Negroes would try to believe our Africans, you know what? They're Hamite descendants. They're really Shemites, are really Jews that the Bible speaks of, which a dragon cast out of his mouth. The lies of the dragon, the lies of the return. Read.
Oh, you want to repeat that?
What do you got?
Job 12:7.
All right.
The book of Job, chapter 12, verse 6. The tabernacles of robbers prosper, and they that provoke the Most High are secure, into whose hands the Most High bringeth abundantly. But ask now the beasts, and they shall teach thee, and the fowls of the air, and they shall tell thee, or speak to the earth, and it shall teach thee, and the fishes of the sea shall declare unto thee.
Right. So the tabernacle robbers, man. It's really again. The last really again I'm breaking down from precept of from precept at the time.
Book of Job, chapter 12, verse 6. The tabernacles of robbers.
The tabernacles of robbers. The Russian house of our synagogue of Satan. The tabernacle of robbers, synagogue of Satan. Were the robbers of our heritage and identity. Right?
Prosper.
They prosper. Think about it. They own all the diamond mines. They own the stock exchanges. They control the media. They own all the Federal Reserve. They own all the central banks around the world. Right?
And they that provoke the Most High.
They provoke the Most High because everything they do is contrary to the laws of the statute and commandments of the Most High. They switch the Sabbath and all that. They basically did worse than what they told the Greeks did back in the time. They had the old world, they had the whole world follow their customs now. And they refused to what does America do? What does America do to this small island like Jamaica, Haiti, and these countries who supposedly depend on them economically, but not supporting gay rights and all that. He put embargo on them, man. Threaten them to withhold financial aid or whatever. And he imposed that kind of hardship on them. That's what they did. Right?
And they that provoke the Most High
Provoke the Most High, read.
are secure.
And they're secure now, they're living good. Because Satan got their back. But now, because you know his rulership is coming to an end. Read.
Into whose hand the Most High bringeth abundantly.
The Most High brings to your hand abundantly. Read.
But ask now the beasts, and they shall teach thee, and the fowls of the air, and they shall tell thee, or speak to the earth, and they shall teach thee.
The beasts of the field, the fowls of the air, even the earth can tell us. History, archaeology, and all that. All those things, geography. All those things are upon research. We can know the truth. Because another like Esau tells the one that said that the earth is millions and millions of years old. Upon examination of the scripture, the earth is over 12,000 years old. I'm going to go to that another time. That's how that's how the beasts, the field, Esau said by examination of the bone, the structure of the bone, and all that, you could see. I don't know. These mad scientists going to come up with all these things. Read.
Or speak to the earth, and it shall teach thee, and the fishes of the sea shall declare unto thee.
All right, go back to Revelation.
The book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which kept the commandments of the Most High, and have the testimony of Yahushua Mashiach.
When the dragon was wroth with the woman, the dragon, Esau, Satan, was wroth, the wrath with Israel, man. So, if you've been wondering why we're going through all this tribulation and oppression and hardship by the hands of our enemies, and all those things are prophesied to take place, would you understand why we're going through? Because the dragon is wrath. You know you got to short out the road. He's wrath. He's angry with our people. What did the Mashiach Yahushua say? Marvel not that they hate you. Why? Because we is, and they hated him from the beginning.
That's right.
Understand? So if they hate the master, what are you going to do? They're not going to love the servant. They're going to hate us just like they hate the Mashiach Yahushua. Really?
Oh, that's it. I said it, chapter 12.
I'll read 17 again.
The book of Revelation, chapter 12, verse 17. And the dragon was wroth with the woman, and went to make war with the remnant of her seed.
And the dragon went to make war with the remnant of her seed. What does that mean?
The children of Israel.
The remnant of her seed. The remnant, what does the remnant mean?
Like something left behind, like a small.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Understand? The remnant, especially us in the truth.
Yeah.
Understand? The remnant, dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of the Most High. Understand? So, keeping the commandments of the Most High, you're gonna go through some things. Understand? The dragon, we gotta know the dragon is Satan. The spirit's gonna be attacking us, man. We gotta go through temptation and hardship. So we gotta prepare ourselves mentally to combat, the spiritual warfare that we're gonna encounter. Read and have the testimony of the Mashiach Yahushua. Those who keep the Most High's commandments, see that? Absolutely, they said the one they said the laws are done away with, which keep the commandments of the Most High. So these Christians who don't keep the commandments, they ain't gonna go through nothing.
I think they think because they think God and Yahushua is the same person, they just go off whatever Yahushua say, and that's what they feel like. So they don't know how to distinguish the Most High from Yahushua. So they just, that's I think that's where they get
confused.
I have the testimony of the Mashiach Yahushua. Can. Yeah. That concludes today's service. Shabbat Yahushua. To what Yashua. Thank you, Israel, for listening. And a reminder, Eastern time tomorrow, 12 noon, we're going to have the Sabbath service. So you can, if you're in the Fort Lauderdale area, South Florida, you can visit us physically. At 2937 West Broward Boulevard, or you can log on to our site, The Light of Zion. So what? Shamash Gavsha.
Shemasi Gavsha.
No, you don't do that. You got Psalm 133? You got that?
No, all right.
Okay,
I think Psalm 133.
yeah,
All right, let's go now.
Mali Wapani Yerushalayim, Son of Jerusalem. Shayar, Kama Aiwa, Ladawad, Panam, Tawab, Wama, Nayam, Shabbat, Akyam, Gam, Yakad, Kashaman, Atawab, Ail, Araash, Yarad, Ail, Azakwan, Ha'aran, Shayaran, Ail, Payah, Badawakyawa, Katal, Karamwan, Shayaran, Ail, Araria, Kazayawan, Payah, Sham, Kazawa, Hawa, Abaraka, Kayawam, I, Hashem, Alushai, Dwara, Aman.
The book of Psalms, chapter 133, verse 1. Behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard that went down to the skirts of his garment. As the dew of Hermon, and as the dew that descended upon the mountains of Zion. For there the Lord commanded the blessing, even life forevermore. Abana Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Amasiach Yahushai, Toatum Yad, Amen. Amen.
Okay.